So for this video, we'll be dealing with examples on how to convert fractions to decimals. So in the last video, we tried to convert decimals into fractions. So we will try to do the opposite this time. So let's first have an example. If we have 1 over 4. Now for these examples, there are two ways that we could go on to solve this problem. But the first way that we can do is to convert the denominator into a power of 10. So for this case, we know that 4 times 25 is equal to 100. So we can multiply 25 over 25 in this one. So this would give us 25 over 100. Now it is easy to see now that in decimal form, this is simply 0.25. So that is how we can convert fractions into decimals. If the denominator can be expressed in a power of 10 through multiplication, like for this case, we multiply 25 on 4. Let's try another example. If we have 13 all over 25, we can multiply 4 over 4 in this one. And that would give us 4 times 13 is 52. 25 times 4 is 100. So this one would become 0.52. Now what if we have 5 over 8? If we don't know how to convert the denominator into a power of 10, what we can do is to apply the traditional division. And this method is the one that we would use most often when we convert fractions to decimals, since it is more flexible than the first method we had. So we can write this one as 8 divided by 5. So how we do this is we add a decimal point out here. So since we add here, we also add here in the above. And what we do is we add zeros out here. Like that, but we start with only 1 0 first. So now we have 50, let's treat this as 50 divided by 8. That would be 6. So this would be 48 over 2. Now since we still have a remainder of 2, what we can do is we add another 0 here, bring that down, and that would give us 20. So this one is 2, so that is 16 all over 4. We still need another 0, so we add another 1, bring that one down, would give us 40, and we have 625 since 8 times 5 is 40. So take note of the minus sign out here. So now the remainder is 0. So this one now is the decimal form of 5 over 8. So that is how we can convert fractions into decimals using the traditional division method. So let's try another example. If we have 3 over, say, 4, and assuming that we don't know how to convert 4 into 100, we will have 4 divided by 3. So adding the decimal place again, adding a 0. So this would be 7. 2. Add another 0, bring that down. So we know now that this one is 5. So we have 20 minus 20 would give us 0. So this one now is the decimal form of 3 over 4. As simple as that. Now, what if we have 34 over 25? So this one, since this one is an improper fraction, we can actually write this as 1 and 9 over 25. So by doing this, by converting the improper into mixed fraction, we wouldn't need to worry on this one already, since this one is a whole number. So we would only focus on the 9 over 25. And we could go on and try the two methods, but for this one, I would try to use the second method that I have presented so we could practice it out. So this one, we have 25 divided by 9. So adding the decimal place out here and adding zeros. So this one would be 3. So this one will become 75. Subtracting that one would give us 15. So we again need to add another 0 out here. Bring that down would give us 150. And this one is actually 6. Since 25 times 6 is actually already 150. So we would have this one and it will become 0. So we know now that 9 over 25 is equal to 0.36. Since we still have the 1 out here, we know that this one is equal to 1.36. And this one is the value of 34 over 25. Now let's have this example. If we have 1 over 9, how do we convert this into decimal? So this one, you can write it as 9 divided by 1.0. So we put the decimal again here. So this would give us 1. This one is 9. So this one is subtracting this one would give us 1. Now again, we add another 0 out here. Bring that down would give us 0. So this one again is 9 times 1 would give us 9 and 1. So as you can observe, the outcome here is actually just a repeating 1. Like that. So with that in mind, we now know that this one, we can write this as 1 over 9 is equal to 0.1 bar. So as I recall, we use this symbol to express a repeating or non-terminating decimal. So let's try one last example. If we have 38 over 11, now again, since this is an improper fraction, we can convert it to a mixed fraction. So this would give us 3 and 5 over 11. So we would only need to focus in the 5 over 11 part. So this one is equal to 11 divided by 5, adding the decimal place out here and here. So adding zeros again, we know that this one is 4. So 44, that was 6. Adding zeros again, bringing it down. So for this one, we know that it is 5. So this one is 55. Just don't forget the subtraction symbol out here. So this one is 5. And again, we add zeros. Bring that down. And this one would become equal to 4. So 44. And this one will become 6. So I can continue on the process, and as you can observe, it's actually a repeating decimal. So observe that this part, say this part out here is similar to this part out here. And this part out here is actually similar to the following part out here. So we know that this would be 45 again, then 45, then 45, and it repeats. So we can write this one as 5/11 is equal to 0.45 bar, since the 45 is the repeating decimal in this one. Since we still have the 3 out here, we can write this one as 3.45 bar. And that is our final answer. So that is how we can convert fractions into decimals. The first method is to convert the denominator into a power of 10, such as 10, 100, 1000, and so on. But that is not always possible. So what we can do is to apply traditional division, but involving decimals this time, by incorporating this one out here. So basically that's it, and that is how we can convert fractions into decimals. And so that is all for this video.